All right, Mr. Mechanical Engineer. B&G 100's in now. Now what's the problem? Yep, I am back again. And apparently, I don't know why it's so cold. Apparently, according to the mechanical engineer, don't we love those mechanical engineers, that Taco 007 with IFC is not powerful enough for that 7-loop radiant manifold. Mind you, this Taco 007 and the previous original Taco 007 has been installed servicing these two 7-loop radiant manifolds for 14 years. Apparently, this circulator now is not powerful enough to power that manifold, while that identical Taco 007 is. And what's the explanation behind it? IFC inside this circulator is the culprit. Guess what, mechanical engineer? There's no IFC in it. Nonetheless, I got that. Yep, that's what I got. So, Mr. Mechanical Engineer, I'm going to take out that 007 right now. I'm going to isolate the zone. I'm going to close that valve. 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 Even to close that valve. And now this circulator is completely isolated. So we are going to get creative here and install the B&G 100. Right. This circulator is controlled by zone 2. So I removed one of the thermostat wires on TT and no, we good. We got no power there. So let me remove that nut. Well, at least I thought there was a nut there. Crazy. Let me put those wire nuts on here while I change this. Now I did put wire nuts, or the Wago lever connectors for 2-conductor wire, model 221, on both wires, just in case polarity was reversed and, you know, power is on the white instead of the black, but always double check. See, hot is black, but nonetheless, we're gonna reuse those Wagos. I'm gonna put those off to the side. Wish there was a valve there, but there are none. It'd be nice to isolate this bad boy. So let me get my circulator wrenches and undo those bolts. Sometimes it just doesn't want to cooperate, and they both go, and sometimes you get lucky and you're able to loosen it up without having to hold back. We're gonna save both of these nuts. Now we're gonna get a little bit of water here, even though all the valves are closed. We are still gonna get some water there, just some pressure. Not a lot, but it's all good. I may want to have a bucket handy because my mixing valve, that water there may come back at me. So I'm going to put a bucket directly below here. Shout out to Slows. Okay, and fit there. Yeah. Temporarily it'll stay there. guess if I really wanted to, I'd put a little zip tie there, but I'm good. Hold the bucket there. I always get lefty-loosey wrong. Always. Every single time I get it wrong. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. See, I knew I should have put a little zip tie there. On there, right there. There we go. Sweet. If these bolts are stubborn to take out, get some WD-40 or some Croil and loosen up those stubborn, rusted. See, look at that. Couldn't have planned better myself. See that? It's going right into the bucket. Well, at least almost all of it. Not too shabby. All right, now we're getting some water here. Circulator's out. Just gonna put that bolt to the side. She's hot. We're getting a little bit of residual water here through the check valve. I guess you could say it is what it is. So let me try to balance that bucket right there. Let me bring the circulator down to the floor. And let me prepare my new circulator. All right, so here's my new B&G 100 circulator. Biggest thing to keep in mind is my direction of flow. There's my arrow. It's pointing that way. I need to make sure my oil ports are up at a 12 o'clock position. There's one of the oil ports. So we're gonna have to flip the body 180 degrees. Let's get to work. All right, I use a crescent wrench. You can also use a box wrench or nut driver and socket. And I removed the 4 bolts. Let's see, you gonna come freely? Yes, you are. So the body is now removed from the motor. We're gonna flip this 180 degrees, put her back on. Make sure that that gasket is in place. You know, it's fascinating. I've actually never taken apart a B&G 100 before, but can you see this thing right here? This is what actually moves the water. It's fascinating. Really, really fascinating. Amazing. Gotta love technology and what God has allowed some people to engineer with their brains and put their thoughts onto paper and then using their hands, building such miraculous equipment. It's amazing. Really is amazing. All right, let's put this in and get the show on the road. All right, the new circulator comes with some new flint. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That is a boatload of cocky. Wow. Not so terrible up there, but my God. What happened here? Jeez Louise. Wow. All right, let me clean that out. I gotta tell you, this is not cooperative. Nope, it sure ain't. Because there's not enough room to get the bolt on without putting on the nut first. It's kind of like dumb, if you ask me. Like, see how that just went in? And then I can put the nut on top? Not on the other side. Okay. Let me tighten that up a little. Let's see. Let's get the other one here. Wrong way. course. Why would you not want me to hold back? Alright. Let's get on the upper flange gasket. This is tight. Alright. That's in there. Now, let's bring this in. Right there. And right there. Now, there's plenty of room for that side to go on, though. Yep, not getting that lucky today by not having to hold back. It's all good. We'll get it. We'll get her done. Long way. Circulator's in place. Alright. I gotta get a nut to secure that. Alright, I shortened the factory leads from the circulator motor, and I connected my neutral and my line. 110 volts here, so nothing crazy. Let's get this up. The cap goes only one direction, so that will go right there. Beautiful. We put that screw in. Let's oil her up and make sure we have no leaks. Fill her up and pray for the best. All right, it's now time to oil. We have an oil reservoir and two other oil cups. There's a port right there, a port right there. Approximately an ounce goes there, but B&G gives us this lubricant, so, and everything's marked. So we're gonna go to the first line with cup number 1, the second line with cup number 2, and the remaining line with cup number 3. I'm gonna elevate you guys up here. Hopefully, you guys see what I'm doing. And let's go. So I've cut this probably. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so port number 1. And that is cup number 1. Perfect. Now, I'm going to do cup number 2. Use a little needle nose and take out that little plug. And now let's go for cup number 2. A little bit more. Good. Let's put back the plug for cup number 2. Sweet. And now we're going to do cup number 3. Right there, and I'll give you guys a better view right now. And cup number 3. All right. There we go. Let's put that little plug back in there. Push that in. Push that in. Everything's closed. And let's test for leaks. Let's add some water here. Just oil dripping. Okay. My valve is open. Let's reopen our other valve. which is here and here, there, and there. Okay, so now when I reconnect that wire, we'll have that energized. So let's go that right there, and you hear it run. She's running. All right, we're a little over 120 degrees on our supply temperature, almost 80 degrees on the return. I only have 3 loops open. The first one on the left is the master bathroom. 5 and 6 are kitchen. We have some decent flow there. I wish that master bathroom was a little bit better. Now we're fully closed. Let's open it back up. Yeah, we don't really have that much flow there. I would like to have more flow there. We are opening up some other zones here. We have this foyer bathroom that's opening, as well as this one. Foyer and the foyer bathroom are 2 separate manifolds. That's the way it was plumbed in. Don't ask me, but it also looks like these may be slowly starting to open. But foyer definitely got some flow there. We're at 0.2 gallons per minute, and not that much there on the master. A little disappointed in that, and our temperature is hair over 120. Circulator, circulate. Let's go use our thermal imaging camera and look at the bathroom floor. It was off when I got here.
Right, so what happened? I don't know. Yeah, because I used the powder room and like, oh, the floor's cold, and then I went to the foyer and it was cold. But then,
all right, we need more flow there, and I got my hand on there. I really don't feel like 120 degrees. These feel warmer, and that one feels much hotter. Number 6. All right, let's purge again. All right, let me show you guys what I got going on here. I got a laundry hose, wash machine hose hooked up to my giant garden hose, going to the laundry sink. I'm opening up hot and cold water. You must pay very, very close attention in doing this so you don't risk cross-contamination. A little bit of a leak there. Let's add that pressure now to this manifold. Okay, beautiful. Let's just give that a little extra on it. No, I think we're good. Now I got my purge hose hooked up to my return manifold. Only 1 loop is open. Let's open up this. Let's watch the hose. And now we're purging water through this loop, back around to here. Now look at all my flow right now. Look at that. I wish I had that kind of flow on this loop. So now we're purging. We're gonna see if we get any air out of here whatsoever. Seeing much of any air here. We've got a lot of pressure flowing through this manifold, flowing through that loop. Yeah, I don't see any water there, so let's close this off. And I also want to do this loop, this kitchen, which was a little bit cooler than the others. So let's close that and let's dump our bucket and purge out number 5. Open up that. Let's watch our hose. Remember, we got a lot of high pressure there. Getting a lot of air there. that air flowing through this manifold. Wait for all those pockets of air to disappear. All right, she got much quiet. That kitchen. Yeah, woo, look at that. And those pockets of air are definitely going to affect circulation. Even with that B&G 100. You can feel it in the piping, you can hear it. Now granted, we are adding fresh water, domestic water to this line, so there is a possibility of some air coming in as well, but I'm quite confident now with getting out of that air out of 5. Wish I got some more out of 1, that master bath, but as they say, it is what it is. So let's just close this valve here. Fighting against pressure. And now let's close the faucets. Close. Now I'm going to remove that possible cross connection where we could get that nasty space heating hydronic water into the potable water supply. You got to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. One mistake and you could really put people's lives in jeopardy. All right. Let's open up that valve. Let's open up this valve and let's restore power to the system. All right, Mr. Mechanical Engineer. B&G 100's in now. Now what's the problem? All right, back to the patient. So we did some purging on 1 and 5. 6 remains the same. Our foyer bath and the foyer are reopening. Hovering at like 0.2 gallons a minute on that loop 1, which is the master bath. 0.2 on that kitchen. A little more than 0.2 on the other side of the kitchen. Does it feel like it's 110? Yeah, it kind of does. Does it feel like it's like 62? No, sorry. 78? Yeah, sure does. Let's wait for this thing to reach back up to the 120 degree temperature mark, and then we'll check that floor again. Now, my gut feeling here is telling me that we have some kind of restriction. Whether it's a kinked PEX line that's kind of goes up, maybe something settled, something moved, maybe a turn that was nice and gradual is more tighter now and it kinked. Maybe there's a piece of just sediment at an elbow or a turn. I don't know, but I do know is that we use these couplings here, and I do know that we had a bunch of cocky on our flanges. You know what? Let's take a look at the circulator. So this circulator is about 3 weeks old. Oh, I guess I lied. There's the Circ IFC. But what's up with that though? I think there's a lot of like cocky in there. See that? Let's get a little creative here. I want to see what's up with this IFC. Damn. What is up with all this stuff in here? I already know if I'm not careful, I'm going to be eating this stuff in my mouth. Alright. Let's grab that IFC. You know, it was definitely nothing flow checking with all the cocky in there. Interesting. It's been about 7 minutes, and we're almost at 120 degrees. Let's pick up our thermal imaging camera and take a look at what we got here. So there's that foyer return, number 7. These two are starting to warm up. That's 5 and 6 of the kitchen. This one there is just ice cold. We are leaving there. Looks like 120 degrees. Let's see if we can get that right there. 122 degrees leaving. Number 5 right there, also 125, 124. This one is 124, okay. Number 6, also 124, and number 7, also 125, 123, 122. And the return looks like we are at 104 on that foyer, 90 on the 6 return, 88, 87 on 5 return, and master bath number 1, 81 return. On our supply side, we have about 101 right now, 102, 104 on that right there. Check out our boiler. Right now we're making domestic hot water, but it'll still send water there through our brazed plate heat exchanger. Don't ask, I'll explain that in another video. Let's go check that floor again, now that we are just about at 120 degrees. Let's see. All right, well, you're definitely heating up. This must be where it's coming up from. Yeah, it's nice and toasty there. Alright, we're getting there. Well, I guess only time will tell here, but I like to ask all of my plumbing sleuths out there. The mechanical engineer who designed this home 17 years ago and supervised it being built step by step told me that the reason why we don't have good flow or no flow in a couple loops on that radiant manifold is because the circulator that's installed is too small. Not powerful enough, but I guess time will tell. But I like to ask my plumbing internet sleuths, you know, the one sitting right now in front of a keyboard watching this video. Let me get your constructive thoughts and feedback on what do you think's going on here. Email me, Mike at mikeypipes.com, or comment in the comment section down below. We've done a lot of work in this home, and I'm not looking to piss them off. We gotta get them up and running. And I'm just not getting enough flow there. And I did reach out to the Uponor rep and the factory itself. They're okay with this. You know, yes, each loop, each zone should be on a separate manifold, but they're okay with this. Do we have corrosion buildup on the inside of the PEX? Do I need to buy a $3,000 Caleffi power flush cart like they use in Europe? Come on, man. Let's figure this out together, guys. But I can tell you this, my flow is quite good there. 120 degrees, and I'm at 85 degrees on that return now. So we may have just solved the problem with the circulator, but time will tell. Smash that thumbs up button, guys, and make sure you subscribe. The best way you can support this channel, me, Mikey Pipes, and my business is by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you think that this video would be useful to another individual, share it with them. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Be well, God bless, stay safe.